This happened a little over a year ago. I've always been someone who enjoys long solo walks, especially in quiet places. Before we continue, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. This is Crime Hall. There's a large stretch of woodland not far from where I live, and I'd explored most of the main trails countless times without issue. That day, I decided to do something different. Instead of sticking to the usual elevated path, I followed a narrow descent that led down toward a marshy creek bed. It wasn't marked, but it wasn't completely hidden either. The air felt heavier down there, and the trees were packed so tightly together that sound didn't travel the same way. I had been walking for hours. I had food, water, a book, and basic supplies in my backpack. Everything should have felt normal, but it didn't. About 30 minutes into the lower trail, I started feeling watched. Not in a vague, anxious way. It was intense. I kept glancing over my shoulder, convinced someone was behind me, even though I never heard footsteps. Then something stepped directly onto the path in front of me. A tall figure, completely covered in dark fabric, stood motionless. Its face was concealed by what looked like a long-beaked mask, the kind you'd see in old plague illustrations. Thick gloves covered its hands. I froze. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but instead, I forced out a nervous laugh and said something stupid like, "All right, you got me." The figure didn't speak. It tilted its head slowly, almost curiously, as I edged around it and continued walking. I didn't dare look back right away, but after a few seconds, I did. It was still standing there. Then it raised one hand and waved, slowly, deliberately, in a way that felt deeply wrong. Something snapped in me. Maybe adrenaline, maybe panic. I raised my hand and flipped it off. That was a mistake. The figure immediately dropped into a full sprint toward me, letting out a sound I can only describe as animalistic. I ran harder than I ever have in my life, branches tearing at my arms as I pushed toward higher ground. I didn't stop until I reached a public trail filled with cyclists and dog walkers. I reported what happened. Authorities searched the area but found nothing. I still walk, just not alone and never off the main paths. That mask still shows up in my dreams. The story begins. This happened when I was 22. A close friend of mine, Evan, and I planned a 4-day camping trip in a remote national forest. We'd done trips like this before, so neither of us felt nervous going in. The first night passed without incident. The second night was when everything changed. As we were setting up camp just before dusk, we heard movement in the trees, heavy footsteps. 3 men emerged from the forest. None of them were carrying camping gear. No packs, no lights. They asked us casually if we were planning to stay the night. We said yes and asked if there was an issue. They exchanged glances, said no, and walked away. Evan brushed it off. He mentioned that he noticed rifles slung over their shoulders and assumed they were hunters. Around 8 a.m., I woke up to shouting. Multiple voices, distant but loud. I nudged Evan awake. Before we could even speak, gunshots rang out, not sporadic but repeated, close enough to echo through the trees. Evan whispered, "That's not hunting." We didn't argue. We grabbed what we could and moved quickly in the opposite direction, stumbling through the darkness for nearly an hour before stopping. The yelling and gunfire continued on and off until sunrise. When morning came, we made the mistake of returning to our campsite. Everything was destroyed. Our tents were shredded with bullet holes, gear smashed, food scattered. Nothing was stolen, just ruined. Whoever did it wasn't trying to rob us. They were trying to scare us, or worse. We packed what little remained and hiked out immediately. I still don't know why they targeted us. I just know that if we'd stayed asleep that night, we probably wouldn't be here. The story begins. I'm an experienced hiker. I usually go alone and pride myself on being prepared. That didn't save me. I decided to try a new trail late in the afternoon, forgetting how quickly daylight disappears in early fall. By the time I was nearing the end of the loop, Darkness had settled in completely. The forest felt different at night, dense, silent, suffocating. That's when I noticed a light ahead. The second I aimed my flashlight at it, it shut off. I had no choice but to continue forward. When I reached the spot, the light was gone. In its place sat a large duffel bag. Then a man stepped out from behind a tree. He was massive, well over 6 feet, and without saying a word, he pulled a machete from behind his back. I ran. I dropped my pack to move faster, sprinting toward the parking area. I could hear him behind me, branches snapping, breath heavy. I reached my car just in time. As I slammed the door and turned the key, he struck my rear tire. The car lurched, but I didn't stop. I drove miles on a shredded tire just to get away. I called the police. I don't know if they ever found him. I never went back for my backpack. Whatever that man was doing out there, I'm certain I wasn't meant to see it.